started recording this, so if it slows down or your screen goes away, let me know. Okay. And while it's filling this out, it brings over the address, the residential purchase. It's got the wizard over here that we could follow, and it's got some stuff pre-populated. So Sandra, do you just hit next, or is this stuff down here I ought to fill in?
No, at this stage, it's all filled in. But if you were to go in and do this on your listing, because, well, no, I guess you still could do it from there. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
Forget that thought.
You want to put in the purchase price at this point?
But I put a
Well, at this point, if you're writing an offer, you may not necessarily know what the price is going to be, but you could, yes.
okay.
Just may have to go change it if through negotiations.
So let's put 225 in here. Let's say we already know what the offer is going to be. Is the deposit the earnest money, or do you write that in differently later?
I don't mess with that. I really, at this point, don't put anything else in.
Okay.
It'll auto-populate on your contract if you put it in here, though.
But is this the earnest money?
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to put an
Oh,
amount
yeah.
in, and we'll play with it later. Okay. So then we go.
Also, if like down at the bottom there where it says total financing, you can calculate there, based on your down payment, how much they're going to finance it. Pretend it's a VA so that you do the total purchase price and put it down there at the bottom.
I just put down $50 because this guy has almost all cash.
All righty.
Okay. And it's a $400,000 house we're offering 225 on, so
Okay.
So go next. Now we can start putting in. You can put in now or later, as you say. We're going the whole auto-populate thing, but if we've said that the mortgage had to be done by a certain date, we could put in here that we're going to have our mortgage application done by that date.
Can I ask a question right here?
Like think we know the answer? Sure, go right ahead.
If we put the application date in there, is there anywhere that it's going to remind us or show up? Because I've never used that field.
I think it's part of the normal contract, so you can put it in or not. You have to remember and remind your client.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
The important one that I do on this one that I find is a time saver is, I think there's a spot in here to put your offer date, which really doesn't matter because you could have it accepted today and you could be negotiating for 3 days. But say you submit it today and then tomorrow you come to an agreement. If you go back in under acceptance date, then that's your final contract date.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because then when you're going in to do your repair amendment later or, a contract amendment, I always used to oh my gosh, where's my file? What was the last date on the contract, the last date or last initial date? If you go back in after the fact and put that acceptance date in, anytime you do any more forms in this transaction, it'll automatically populate that for you. So that's a huge time saver.
That's for future agendas and stuff.
Right.
You just don't necessarily know what you're accepting. Yeah, I guess you could put it in and assume you're going to write it this morning and have it accepted tonight. And if it's not, just go back and change that date at a later time.
Got it.
But that's a huge time saver.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm going to pretend that we already negotiated everything. I'm just filling it out to sign. Closing date. Now, there's one thing I didn't like on this. I don't like that the possession date is you can't write in at closing.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Oh,
So I can put it at midnight on that date, or I can change the time to noon or whatever time you want. I would have liked it to say at closing, but
yeah.
generally acceptable. And you go next, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Where am I on this thing now?
Okay. So then what I do, is it okay for me to talk?
Go for it.
Okay. So then I would go in and add my buyers, obviously. So Greg, if you want to click add next to the next, and then create new transaction contact. And then you're going to click buyer on the top. There you go.
By the way, just so you guys can see, when you go in, there's a lot of things you can put in here. If you want to put the title company in as a contact. But one thing that happens when you do buyer like this is that then every place the buyer is supposed to be in the buyer forms, they show up their names. It's a lot handier. So we're going to have Lance buy this house. You're welcome, Lance.
Well, you're lowballing, Lance. Just FYI.
Sounds like Lance.
That's the way I roll.
I want to know where you have $200,000 at.
And you guys should have at the bottom where it's add to address book. It should, I think, be checked there, but you want to make sure it is, because otherwise when you go in the next time, it won't have saved it. So into your address book.
Right. And if we wanted to add another buyer, we could put Mrs. Buyer in.
And then, so click on your ad again, Greg.
Okay.
And so do a new transaction contact. And then what I have started doing, that's been a huge time saver, even though I'm not going to be emailing anything to the sellers, obviously, because they're not my clients. Click on there and do seller.
Do the seller?
On your type, do seller. And then I add, usually if the agent hasn't uploaded the tax sheets, you can still go to the, county tax and get the names of the sellers that are on the, on the tax records. And you don't have to have the email, but if you save them here as, John Doe or whoever you're putting in, you don't need an email, just save it. And then on your contract and your amendments, then it's automatically, populate the names of those sellers. Because then otherwise you go back to grab your contract. Who were the names, what were the names of the people again? Now it's on there for everything you do for this transaction.
That's good.
I see. That's really that at the bottom where it has add to contacts, those are the ones that you might want to go and uncheck, because you're not going to ever have their phone number or their email. So it's just, if you wanted to do something like that, you could uncheck it.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So I've got me as a selling agent, Suzanne as a listing agent, and that auto-populates from the MLS. Lance is buying it from Cheryl. Cheryl, you're taking us all out to dinner later.
You bet.
Okay. Next.
She's not going to have any money. Lance is taking all of her equity.
Like I said, that's the way I roll.
So at this point, when I said I picked a template, these are the forms that I put in that you can use, or that we say are a good idea to use for your contracts. So you don't have to go choose them. But if you came down and said, well, this isn't going HUD, I don't want to include that, I would click on the 3 dots and delete that form.
Is that HUD home inspection? The home inspection is you require us to have that signed regardless of the type of loan, don't you? Just so that we can have.
I hate it when I do something stupid and somebody points it out to me. Thank you, Lynn. I was trying to show the ease that you could say, I don't like the BHG utility list. Let's get rid of that.
Okay.
Click on the 3 dots. Delete.
I just was verifying you hadn't changed your mind on that form.
No, I think we need an inspection form. So, and you could also, this is for Lance. You can also set up your own templates. If you want to do something from scratch, Lance, you could have your own template. But from here, is this where you would add your forms then normally?
Yeah, click that once. Click add.
What you need, babe?
And you
so what I do then, I click on exactly. Click there, Greg. And then what I do is backwards from Greg, but I go down the list and I just check on the right the ones that I want to add. I just find I'm going to add fewer than I'm going to go delete it. The way Greg does is just less steps. So I just go down the list and I would do my Bretta, my buyer agency. You will eventually have your contract amendment for inspection, so you can add that in there now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to add them on, but the way she does it is she just picks the forms she wants, checks them, and then clicks add,
Correct.
and they all come over.
Correct.
The only thing I would point out that you may want to, just for future, we have some other forms in here that we created for you guys if you want to use them. So you have your choice of BHGRE Alliance and buyers. And if you want to use some of our forms, help yourself. Okay? So there's how to add forms to the contract, to your transaction. Question?
Can I ask a question? When you went back to that form where it says BHD buyer's package, when I pull that up on my Mac, it just shows one page. Is that what it's supposed to be showing? And that's just that's it.
It's a cover page that we used to require.
Okay, I thought it would be all the docs that we needed for a buyer. Because that's how we did it at the old company. So my mind is like, is my computer doing that right? Okay.
I should rename that, and I can. But you'll see what it does because we've got a transaction. It's auto-populating all the way across that stuff for you.
I did not realize that. That's awesome.
That was something that we asked them to do. Let me see how I get out of this now. I always get confused right there. Okay, come on. All right. So again, the important step here to me so far is we add all the names that we want to populate on every form and information. We pick the forms out that we want to use. We hit next.
Do we want to hit next yet, or do we want to fill those forms out?
Well, you can, but I mean, I think right now we're just, I think for time's sake, I think Greg's just kind of wanting to show the process.
Well, okay, we'll go into one of them so that the people can see what is auto-populated and what they're going to probably manually need to put in just for information's sake. As you can see, you're going to need to put some more information.
Right.
It's just basic information that's auto-populated, but you got to do this before you go to sign, or you won't have any of that filled out.
Correct.
Agree.
Correct. Good point, Lynn.
So am I allowed to just type in here now? Yep.
Yep.
So I clicked on the contract because I know it needs more, but a lot of the stuff I need is already typed. I don't have to do it again. So the mortgage is going to be $50.
That's the assumption. No, back up. Mortgage assumed. You need to put that 0.
Boy, Lynn, you're just okay.
Sorry, I use this all the time.
Hey, and now that you're on the screen, I noticed when they made some changes, it doesn't always auto calculate anymore on the contract and earnest money and all that like it used to.
Yes,
Oh,
the
it's
approximate balance does not auto-populate anymore. I hate that.
That's BS.
Yeah, it used to auto-calculate, and now it doesn't.
I will bring this up to the association and see if we can do anything, but I'll tell you, working with Instinet for forms is not the same as it was 3 years ago. I don't want to continue going through this, but I think you guys get the idea that, yes, I still need to check some things and do some things, but it's auto-populated a lot of the stuff for me.
And Greg, I think at the top under your file, I always go in and save it because then I'll go in and edit all my other documents, finish completing them and then do my signing. So at the top under your upper left, your file.
Here?
No.
Upper left.
Right.
Here. Save.
Yes, make sure you just save it.
And it will automatically save if you just exit out of it too.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it did. I've never wanted to test that and get mad and have it not saved. So good to know.
So what we wanted to show you here on this part, and then we'll go to the next part, was how to be in the MLS, how to get certain information to carry on over for you, how to build a contract package that automatically populates addresses and names and stuff, and then you still go forward with your showings. So everybody kind of got that part?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'm going to show you something.
Oh, you already went out. Never mind.
I was gonna ask, how do you add like our CMAs and other
Yeah, that's
documents?
what I was going to show you. Sorry.
Well, I can go back in it. You mean upload other files to the transaction?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'll go
Like
in and I'll
amendments.
upload my CMA and my buyer cost sheet.
Okay.
And the MLS sheet, because the MLS sheet isn't going to be a form, you know, and if they already have their PCR, then you can save those in your transaction, and then they're easy peasy to set up in the signing room.
Sandra,
Please
do
show
you
us how to do
save-
that.
do you save the MLS as a PDF on your computer?
Yeah, I save it as a PDF. So
Okay.
go back
Okay.
into your
So where do I go to get into the transaction now?
You're in it.
you're in it. Go down to your documents under sign where you okay.
We didn't finish it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Okay, now go.
So
Okay,
on
go
the
down.
right-hand side, you'll see it says the wizard, dashboard, signings, and all that. Go ahead.
Click on documents.
Where is documents?
Under signings on the right-hand side.
Gotcha. Now I can add documents.
You can add. So add new document.
I don't have click here to reactivate. Okay.
I don't understand. I've never seen that.
That's because I don't use that doc storage. Okay.
Oh, isn't that what we have to pay $5 a month for? Or not?
Are you wanting to just store them here, or you want to sign them?
Well, I bring them in to store them, and so then when I go in to do my signing, they're all there.
Okay.
That's
Let's
a great
talk
idea.
about that at a different time.
Okay.
Because some people have the doc storage turned on, some do not.
Okay.
And I need to, and you're one of them that still does. So let me show you a little. We're going to change subjects altogether, and I promise we'll come back to that. How many you guys use Cloud CMA?
I have never used it.
Always.
Is there a cost for that?
That's the only thing I use for CMAs.
I pay for Cloud CMA for all of our agents. I will show you something that they just started. And then I think we ought to have a Cloud CMA class, because some of you are going to go, wow, that's so easy. I can't believe I never used it.
Yeah.
This is the Cloud CMA login page. Hopefully most of you have seen it. For those who have, they started something brand new 2 days ago called View Live.
Oh, wow.
So I created a CMA in here, which is absolutely so drop dead easy. Some of you are going to go, wow, I can't believe I didn't use it. When I click on View Live, it brings up this new screen that you've never seen before. This is, I can throw it on the big screen with the client sitting in front of me. I can email them this screen without some of the controls that we have, or I can click this and invite them to a Zoom meeting or a Skype meeting or a Hangouts meeting. So for people who don't want to get out of the house, or somebody who's in Germany, you can go over the CMA with them live in here.
Oh my gosh.
When I tell you just started, I mean like 2 days ago, and the first class on it isn't until next week. So if I were to just start the presentation, it will take me one page at a time. Here's my cover letter. Here's about me. Here's about our company. Here's a CMA. Here's the average price.
What did you click on to go from the icons to the actual pages?
See down here at the bottom where it says comps?
Okay. Okay,
I
gotcha.
just keep clipping the next one.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to go back to the home screen, because most of you, when you do a CMA, don't start with let me show you the cover letter. Read that real quick. I think you're probably going to start with the pricing, the dollar per square foot, and comps. So let's click right on pricing. Well, this is a graph of all the homes that I've got in my CMA. The ones that sold, the average prices, are the pendings, and it would have actives if there were any, but they all sold. Now I can go to the next page from here, comps, which will bring up my 12 comparable homes.
Wow.
Or I can look at it side by side. Now, here's the real beauty of this. Here's my property. Here's all the properties that I pulled in. If I want to pull up the individual properties, I click on view and it brings it right up. And they can see the pictures on it, all of it. But here's something that I really adored. When I click on map, what they get to see from their links is only the things that you've included as your CMA. But if something just popped up on the market, I can click on it and it comes up over here and I say, wow, that's a good comp. I want to include it.
Nice.
And now they've got a new comp in their CMA that they didn't have before. If they look at this and they say, oh, we've been in that house, that one definitely wasn't part of us. Well, good, we can exclude it. And we've just changed all our numbers that fast.
Wow.
That's nice.
Then I go back to the comp list, and there they all are. I want to go to the average dollar per square foot. This graph, I think they built for Lance. They've got everything logged out here from the very top to the very bottom of by square footage and where you land in it. And the average is $83 per square foot for these homes.
Wow.
So and this is kind of nice because it shows if they drop their prices or what it sold from the list price.
Oh, wow.
Now, in Cloud CMA, you can also print a book. All this stuff is in the book. So you can have it printed, you can email a PDF, or you can go over this together with them face to face. And there's all of our show. This one I love because it shows what Zestimate said it should have sold for, what it actually sold for, and how far off they are.
That's awesome.
So, the whole point of this...
I like the new updated format. This looks pretty nice.
Well, this is updated for the live view. The book view is still a lot the same. Okay. So also I want to show you when you click on these three bars over here, these are what I've included so far. Maybe I want to customize from here. Well, I want to put the client testimonials in. I want my listing paperwork overview. I want to put a video in of me. If I'm going to send this out to them, there's going to be an introduction video. I can record a video and upload it.
That's awesome.
I want to put the video up at the top. I want to get rid of the cover letter. I want to put the video in. See how you can customize this?
Mm-hmm. This is crazy.
Yeah, mind blown.
It is crazy good. If nothing else, the information that you can give to a client now, and by the way, when you do a CMA, instead of having stagnant numbers, if something's sold in the time that you put it together, it will show up here with the new numbers. It's all live.
Where do you get the comparables? Do you go to the MLS first?
Okay, if you have just a minute or two, I'm not going to show you everything.
Can we do another class on this?
I'm going to do a more full class, but what I would do is I pull up all my comparables here. So if I go into, I won't have any, let's use, man, my phone keeps going off. I'm going to pull up Sandra. And I want her actives.
There are none. They're all under contract.
I know, right?
Who's got any actives? Let's use nobody's got actives, huh?
Mine are under contract.
Yeah.
I know. I think Brenda has a couple of actives. So she's got 4 actives, and we want her pendings. And we want her, come on, be some pendings, sold. Just so I can.
5,000.
Well, 216, but I'm going to put a closing date since first of the year, just so I can. I'm not trying to do a CMA. I'm just trying to show you guys how I would do this. So if I was doing a true CMA, I would do a search. I would do a map search. I would go in and say it's got 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and so on. And I would pick the listings that I want to be in my CMA. For now, we're just going to let this show us active solds and all of that. And I'm going to say, yep, I want these 3 actives and that pending and those sold. I want all of these to be in my CMA.
Where did you go for that? Under I saw inventory, but I don't remember.
No, that was just him playing. Just go to your MLS and do a search and find your comps.
That was just me playing. Exactly right.
That's the ones you want.
Okay.
So you would do a routine search, finding the comps that you want to use. And we're going to say that all of these are in the same location. I just wanted to pull up some actives and soldeds, everything. Once I hit that checklist, I go here to actions, and I drop down to Cloud CMA.
There it is.
You all see it?
Yep.
It's going to open up Cloud CMA. It's going to log me in. It's going to bring all the listings over for me.
Okay.
There are the listings.
That'd be fun to use.
So then I would put the address in that I'm going to put the comparable in. Obviously, this is going to be a bad address because I have no idea where Brenda's selling houses.
Right.
And see, as I start to populate it, it pulls it up. And it already knows how many square feet, how many baths and bedrooms. I could add a photo if I want. And now I fetch the listing. It's going to make me put a client name in. You guys want to see the rest of this, or do you need to go?
No, just finish it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bossy.
Sorry. Sorry.
So it's going out now to the MLS and picking all of these MLS numbers that we had, and it's mapping it for us. Gosh, this is going to be a tough CMA. 1 million down to. And
So Greg,
yes.
when you click fetch listings, it's going and drawing from the ones that you saved to Cloud CMA.
Right.
Okay.
It's picking these listings right here that I checked off.
Okay.
So
on that first screen, the bottom left-hand side is where it puts all the MLS.
Correct.
On the right-hand side, you can do a quick and dirty version if you don't already have them pulled from the MLS.
Well, let's go do a quick and dirty I wanted to show everybody how to bring in the exact ones, because that's the way I think you'll do it most of the time.
Yeah. But
just because there is a quick and dirty and the map will be better, I pull up an address that I want, and I want 4810 Harding, and I don't remember what square foot, and I want to get at least 10 listings, only go back a year.
Oh.
I can add more criteria. I can say only pick bedrooms, square footage. I could say I want to go back only 6 months.
See, I didn't know you could do more criteria. That's awesome.
So let's now update our listings, and it's going to go out and pick them for me. The reason I discourage this is I think you guys are much smarter about picking your listings than the machine is. And obviously, because I'm messing with this, I brought in all kinds of stuff that I don't want. They're all over the place. And I can go down here and check the ones off that I don't want. So let's get rid of that one, that one, that one, that. And I'm going to show you. Now, this is a secret that I never encourage you to do. But I had way too many listings, so I'm getting rid of a bunch. Let's get rid of Goddard and that. So Lance, you're going to love this, but don't ever do it. So let's just say we've got our 10. Oops, I got to get my 10 listings again.
You've got MLS numbers in there now.
Yeah, I know. We're going back to the original one.
Okay.
You can click on this details and adjustments, and you can actually adjust prices. If you think they're wrong, please don't do that. Stay with the prices that or if the description was bad, you can update it. But once you've got your listings in here, customize report. Now, these are all the pages that we built for you. Like we have the showing service in there. It tells them what phone number they're going to get a call from. If you want to see what that page looks like, you click on it and it pulls up a preview. Here's how showings happen. This is the phone number that's going to call you. You can get text messages and emails, and it explains all that to them. If you want to know about marketing, well, we tell you how people found the house, and we built this for you. If you say, gosh, Greg, that's lovely, but I hate it, you can get rid of that page. You can get rid of the, let's see, suggested list price page if you don't want it. Or you can come over here and say, yeah, I want that suggested list price. Let's put it back in. And you publish report. So it's going out now, and you see it says publishing. It's building a PDF, or I can go to view live after it's published. Because we have so many pages in there, it takes a while to publish this. And one nice thing I kind of like about it is every CMA that you've ever built, it stores. So if a client ever says, well, wait a minute, why did you blank? It's already in there.
Or an appraiser.
Or an appraiser. You can see it takes a while to publish because we got a lot of pages. I don't know what happens if I view live before it's published. Let's see. Seems to come up pretty quick.
So okay, yeah, click on that one. So we can, oh, this is awesome. Yep, never mind.
And then I can go to maps. And it's bringing up a really big map because we had those comps all over the place.
So on that pricing per square foot, is that the house as a whole, or is that's just what it sold for per the total square foot, not top and bottom?
Correct, because in most MLSs, they don't have the finished basements like they do, so they just do the overall dollar per square foot period. And that's why I encourage you to go back into Paragon and make sure that your houses, if you're doing donuts or donuts to donuts, you want to make sure that all your houses have finished basements or don't have finished basements, so that your dollar per square foot comes out properly.
Yeah.
But if you want to look at the PDF now, you can click View PDF because it finally published. This will have like 70 or 80 pages in it.
Oh my goodness.
Greg, just a suggestion. I know some agents do this. With the exception of the actual comparative analysis, the actual listing comps, they will email the rest of this out as a pre-listing package.
Yep.
And then you can email it and you don't have to spend time going over every page when you're actually live with them, because they're more interested in the numbers at that point anyway.
Correct. So I did this really quickly. We could have a more full test. But yes, I've saved in here someplace that I have a pre-listing. And then I do a lot of the, the value of your home, short sales and foreclosures, if it is, a little bit about me. Then we get down into the actual numbers and the listings that we have. And it prints with all the photos of every house, because I don't think you can do a CMA if you don't have the photos.
So you can just email that?
You can email the whole thing, absolutely.
You can email the whole thing, but you can identify in the custom, I think it's on the custom page, you can actually do a template where you can have your pre-listing package, which includes everything except for the comps, and then email that out. And then when you actually do the comps, on a separate one, then you can, do the live stream at that point and go over the comps. And they've already had the pre-listing.
Let's do this because we've already kept people more than I thought we should. Let us stop here with showing you the live one. Mm-hmm. And next Tuesday, we'll do how to do a CMA from top to bottom, including picking your comparables. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, Greg, can you set up a template then for like what Lynn's talking about as far as a pre-list? Is that something that you can set up that we can go in and pick? We can choose that and then we can add to it maybe extra stuff that we want to do. Is that something you could do before then?
I'll have to look. I don't know that I as a company can set up that template.
Yeah, I was going to say that because that's going to have all about you. It's going to have different things that are more personalized. I can show anybody how to do it, but it's really simple because when you go to build it to create it, go into CMA. Greg, please.
Well, quick. Let me do this because we are so far over on time. Let's do this next Tuesday.
Okay.
Let's get more into the fine tuning of how to build a template, what all the report pages are. But I definitely wanted to tease you with that live view. I thought that was just fabulous the way you could do some stuff with that.
Loving that.
It would be nice if some of those really cool graphs would be available to do in the actual booklet form. But I get that the stats change so quickly. That's probably why they don't have those in there as of now.
And I will tell you that I am working on trying to get some of our other pages as options in here because I think it would be nice to have the marketing page or maybe the telephone showing page in there. So again, it's so brand new, but let's Tuesday, we'll do a CMA from top to bottom. Cool. Does anybody here think they are an expert at picking comparable properties to volunteer?
We'll get Lance to do that. Lance is already off here. I nominate him because he nominated me for this internet stuff today.
I will tell him that you volunteered him then. There we go. Okay, Tuesday, Lance is going to teach us how to do a CMA, and I'm going to show you how to put it in Cloud CMA. So there you go.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.